Welcome to What's in the Pot. I'm your host, Sean Grande, and today we're making curry stewed chicken wings. It's What's in the Pot. So today we're making curry stewed chicken wings, but I'm not burning the sugar for this curry stewed chicken wings. I'm actually going to be adding some ingredients, and it's going to give the same flavor as you did if you burnt the sugar. So I'm going to start with about 8 to 10 chicken wings. I'm going to start seasoning it up with a little bit of black pepper. I'm also going to add some of this Chief brand all-purpose seasoning that I got from Kalu Box. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of adobo. I like the adobo seasoning when you're seasoning any kind of meat. It gives it a nice flavor. And now I'm adding this Creole seasoning. This Creole seasoning is really good in pilau or a stew. It kind of gives it that stew flavor, as well as has other ingredients and seasonings in there. I'm adding some soya sauce, as I normally would do if I'm making stewed chicken. And I'm also adding this caramel browning seasoning. Now this is what will give it that caramelly, that burnt sugar flavor that we normally get from stewed chicken once it hits the pot and on a high heat. I'm adding some of this pimento seasoning because you know you can't season Caribbean food without some pimento, and of course some green seasoning. I like to add my green onions while I'm seasoning meat. Some people like to add it towards the end. I like to add a little bit at the end for, you know, just for presentation. But also the curry that I'm using is the duck and goat curry. I like this curry because it brings out the flavor, especially when you're doing a curry stew. Some of the other just our traditional curry, it's not as strong. So I like that strong flavor. Remember, we are not burning the sugar. So we're going to be mixing the stew flavors and the curry flavors while we're seasoning. Now I like to add my onions as well when I'm seasoning, especially something like chicken wings. You don't want to add the onions towards later on because the wings are going to cook really fast. I'm also adding my tomatoes, and I'm going to add some Scotch bonnet peppers. If you don't have Scotch bonnet, you can use a habanero or any kind of spicy pepper that you like. I'm going to add some thyme. I just like to leave the whole pieces of thyme in there and let it cook through when I'm cooking it. I know as a kid I hated it because you'd always be pulling out these sticks. I'm also adding some of this hot and spicy paprika. I love the flavor the paprika gives. And of course I'm going to add a little bit of ketchup just because it's a curry stew, so we want that little bit of that stew flavor. We don't add too much ketchup because we want to reduce the amount of sugar we're using in the dish. Now the one thing I'm going to add is some heat to this because I love my chicken wings spicy. So I'm adding some of this habanero brand scorpion pepper. It's hot, but it's absolutely delicious. And we can't forget a little bit of garlic. It's enough, about maybe equivalent to about 1 clove of garlic. We're going to give this a good mix. Get all the flavors mixed in there. Especially we want to make sure that seasoning from the hot sauce gets in there. Now you can leave this in the fridge overnight or leave in the fridge for 30 minutes and then start cooking. I have my pot on medium high with some grapeseed oil, and now what we want is we want the heat to be high because the browning, the caramel Creole seasoning that we used, we want that, and the soya sauce, we want that to start caramelizing. And on the high heat, it's going to start caramelizing, and that's where we're also going to get our stew flavor from. Now after about 5 minutes, the heat is still on high, and you can see everything starting to fry up. All the flavors are coming out of the pot. So what we want to do is give it a good turn, and then we're going to put this on medium heat and let it cook for about 10 minutes. Pot's been simmering for about 10 minutes. I'm going to now add some ruku into the pot. Now this is also known as annatto. I made the annatto liquid or the ruku liquid myself using the annatto seeds. If you can't find that or you don't know where you can purchase it, you can also always get the annatto powder. You can get that at most groceries in the US or in Canada. Just check out your Latin section. Now what we want to do is we want to add, this is going to give that nice red color and add a nice bit of flavor. If you notice, I didn't add much salt because the annatto has a lot of salt in it. Right before I'm finished cooking, I like to add a little bit more green seasoning to bring out a little bit more of that flavor. You can see this is completely done. The chicken wings are done. It takes about maybe 30 minutes because chicken wings, there's not a lot to cook with it. It cooks really quickly. And there you go. That's our finished product. And now for this with chicken wings, I like my sauce nice and thick. You can see it there. It's absolutely delicious. Thank you very much for tuning into What's in the Pot. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this with your friends, your family. Till next time. Peace.